How's it going, YouTube? It's Liam Davis over at Car Safe Limited. I thought I'd do a little video today just on the question what a lot of people ask themselves: do I need a dash cam? Now, in my humble opinion, you do, and I'll tell you why. Now, I spent a lot of years working in a claims management company, so we deal with cases that come through when people have had car crashes and road traffic accidents, and I realised and saw just how big a deal it was, where people's claims were just getting split 50-50 when the clients were adamant it wasn't their fault. Now, when there isn't any witnesses and the insurance companies are at a bit of a loss because there's no witness, there's no footage, there's no help, what they tend to do is just say, right, we'll split it 50-50 and put liability on both of you. Obviously, the person who thinks it's not their fault is understandably upset, and it can go through months and months, if not years, of legal process and challenges. Ultimately, with the insurance companies deciding it's not economically feasible to pursue it, there's a limited chance of the case being successful, so what we want to do is accept 50% liability. The third party will do the same and we'll end the case there. Now, I've had people crying on the phone to me saying it wasn't my fault. How can my insurance company make this decision for me? And it came to a certain point where I was like, right, people need to actually be proactive and to do something that's physically going to help them in the unfortunate event of an accident, which is dash cams. It's the only way that I could see you can physically have a witness with you 24/7 if you were driving that long. Now, what I'm going to do is run through a few stats, facts and figures, and that's my personal side, what I've just told you, on why it came to my attention, why I think people need a little bit of help on the roads. But I'm ultimately going to go to some stats, facts and figures from the ONS, the Office of National Statistics for the UK. Now, there's 37 million registered vehicles on the road. In actual fact, I'll put above, there's 37,750,534 registered vehicles in 2019. And every single year, there is close to 500,000 road traffic accidents. There's 414,618 reported accidents. Those are the ones that have actually gone to the insurance and said, we've had an accident, blah blah blah, and let it proceed. Now, as we all know, there's a lot of bumps and little knocks and things that people sort out between themselves, so that figure more than likely would actually be a hell of a lot more inflated if people didn't sort out any bumps between themselves. Now, going on that basis, that's 1,135 accidents every single day. And a lot of accidents aren't just clear cut. You'll have both people thinking that it was the other person's fault. And that's where insurance companies come in and things like that. And they'll have a team that will assess. They'll go through, they'll read the descriptions on both sides. They'll try and get you to do witness statements, diagrams, everything they can to reimagine the incident that happened, so they can take a step back and then proceed and say what their verdict is, whether one person was at fault or the other person was at fault or you're both at fault. Now, people think it's unfair and they just can't get it through the head that their word isn't just taken, that it wasn't their fault. But it's not. It's one word against another, unless you have a dash cam, where it's like gold dust, especially to insurance companies, the police, and anyone who's got to take an objectionable point of view and sit back and revise what's happened and have a look over what's happened. It can help come to a conclusion like that. The minute you look over some footage and you're like, right, actually, yeah, they pulled out of a giveaway and they got hit, the liability is clearly on one side. So with 1,135 accidents happening every single day, it's not until you've had an accident that you realise that you could have done with a witness, you could have done with some help. And it's not always, there isn't always some good Samaritan stood at the side of the road saying, "I saw what happened, here's my number." It's very, very rare. That I must have processed thousands of claims whilst I was working in a claims management company, and I'd say about 70% of them, the liability was just so confusing. It's just out there. So one of the main reasons why I decided to set Car Safe up when to provide people with dash cams was, one, so they've got a personal witness with them 24/7. Whenever you go in your car, you know you've got your own personal backup. You don't have to wait for Bob at the end of the street to say, "Yeah, I saw what happened, I'm willing to do a witness statement for you." You don't need it. You've just got your dash cam, you've got your footage, here's what's happened. One way or another, even if you're at fault, it saves you going through months and months of stress, drawing diagrams and writing witness statements, going to court, and it goes on and on. Now, we've got dash cams starting from 15 quid. You put them in your car, they'll record. Thank God, most of the time, you will never ever need to use it. But if there ever comes an occasion, and you're ever included in the 500,000 road traffic accidents that happen every single year, you can sit back and comfortably know that the footage has got you back. There isn't anything that will alter from a visual recollection of that incident. The camera never lies. The camera doesn't lie. So it's pretty straightforward. They're really easy to use. The amount of vehicles on the roads, bear in mind, guys, there's 66 million people, 66.5 million people in the UK today, and there's over half of that figure worth of vehicles in the UK. 500,000 accidents every year. I hope that none of you ever have an accident, but if you do, don't put yourself in a position where it's your word against someone else's, because the likelihood is some person sat in an office who's reading through both witness statements and diagrams is just going to either say there's 0% success rate, so we accept liability, or it's very complicated, that it could go on for years in the courts or whatever, we'll split it 50-50. Or if you've had a straightforward accident, they'll just say, yeah, it's clearly the other person's fault, we'll proceed. We'll if you've got your legal expense insurance, which I'll make another video about at another time, because it's important that you do have some legal protection on your policy. You can be left in quite a vulnerable position. So for the sake of 15 quid, or it's just a no-brainer for me. Now I've put the statistics up. What I'll do, I'll put them at the back end of here. Just have a look at the statistics and the facts and the figures and decide for yourself. But we've got dash cams starting from 15 quid. They go up to the price of, I think, about 150. The same spec as ours. If you were to go to one of the local big brands on the high street, I'm not going to name any for legal reasons, but for the same spec, you'd be looking at 3 to 4 times the price of what ours are. We're going to be introducing some new products. Orders have been placed. We're waiting for everything to come through now and the deliveries to be collected, and then we'll be doing some videos on new devices. But I thought I'd make a video with a few stats, facts and figures, just so you can make up your mind as to whether you think you need a dash cam or not. So with that being said, I want to thank you for spending the time watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel. What we're trying to do is get up to a certain amount of subscriptions and we can get a customized URL. I'll post this on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please do like and share the video, subscribe to the channel. You'd be doing us a massive favour, and I'll put the details for the website and where you'd be able to find our dash cams and devices on the link below. So thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you all soon.